better call the troops.
Hello everyone, this is King Stevian. I am here just giving y'all some wisdom. I want to give a shout out to all the holy ones, the ones that are in the Lord. I want to give a shout out to the Moors, even the Muslims, even the Hebrew Israelites. I want to give a shout out to everybody who's doing their part in this fight. And you know, after watching especially after watching the movie, The Avengers Endgame, I noticed that every one have their different area in this fight, but we're all fighting the same people. Okay, we're fighting the same people, and then we go against one another and try to tell people, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. No, we need to go against the one that is winning, because they're the one that divided us. And I look at it this way: we all have something that's right, but we can talk about all that later after we defeat the enemy. Then we'll come back together to the round table and exchange everything. Okay? So what I'm doing is I'm calling out to everyone who, whether you are Moor, whether you a real Christian, we ain't talking about the one with the Pope them, or a Muslim, whatever you may be, I'm asking that you join this fight that we have against this judicial system. Especially my brothers fighting in this child support fight, because that's part of it. And if you crush that one, then you can crush down the others, because it's pretty much all the same thing. But I'm checking in to give everyone some knowledge that I haven't heard anyone use. I hear a lot of the Moors creating their own affidavits. I see the guys, Yars Magnified, Amin Cyrus, I guess that's his name, and they're using these documents they say is called affidavits, where I want to read some to y'all guys to let y'all know what a affidavit is. And a lot of times we go in and we fighting and we going back and forth. And one thing I have learned clearly, especially when it's going to the child support, and I'm speaking on the child support, I haven't did it in the other area, and it might work in the other areas. But when you go in and you file a motion, that affidavit is something that's very powerful. And I'm going to read it to you. But before I read it, I want you to know that you want to go in and you really want to lose that first battle. You want to lose it. Okay? Let them think that they won. Because really, it's not a court where you win anyway. Okay? But what you want them to do is reject it. Okay? Reject it. And most of the time when you go in and you file your motion, they don't even challenge what's on that document. They just run over it. And from my experience, they just don't even challenge what I state in those affidavits. Well, the thing about it is, if you keep silent about it, then it's like you saying you agree with it. Okay? And I found that to be true. And now I filed a appeal, which now I found out that I can use that affidavit that I filed, that motion itself, because at the bottom it says you swear all this is true and all this. That can be used, that form by itself, without anything else, can be used in the appellate court. And I'm finna read this definition to you. Affidavit, definition: a written statement confirmed by oath or affirmation. Now watch this. For use as evidence in court. Did y'all catch that? A written statement. Okay, that's whatever you write down. You ask the judge, hey, I want this court to honor, the judge to honor this because of this. Your written statement confirmed. It's confirmed. So if you say that they violated your rights, you say that they violated the contract, if you say that the contract is null and void, if you say this case don't exist, it's confirmed by your oath or your affirmation. Done. If they don't rebut it, and I hear the Moors always stating this, If they don't rebut it, they have to rebut it. If they don't rebut it, then you got them. Because it goes on to say, for use as evidence in court. So in your appellate court, all you have to do is use that motion that you filed. And in the recording of the court records that you had while you was there arguing with the judge or the attorney or the department, all you got to do is say, hey, this is what I stated, this is what I submitted. They did not rebut it. This was my evidence. I submitted it, and it is submitted already because they have it. But then they act stupid and say, hey, why? What are you here for? Sometimes I feel like saying, hey, dumb lady, you know why I'm here. You got the document. You did not look over it. See, they try to do that to make you look stupid, but your stuff is already submitted. And if they overlook that evidence, then that's them. So when you file your appeal, all you got to do is pull that out. You already won. You see what I'm saying? And that's facts. So I just wanted to put that information out there for everyone, because a lot of people don't know what an affidavit is. They think it's just a summarizing or request. No, it's more than that. It's way more than that. Okay? So, again, I'm King Stevian, and I call all Moors, all Muslims, all Christians, real Christians, all Hebrew Israelites, to join together as a team, and we fight this fight together. During the process, you use whatever knowledge you have and wisdom, each one of us, and we put it together as one, and we fight this fight. After we wipe these people out, man, then we come back together and we go about whatever your religion is, whatever you believe, and we can do it in a way where, we have peace. All this going against one another, man, it ain't getting us nowhere. If you look at the Avengers, the one where they lost and they was wiped out, you see what I'm saying? Half of them was wiped out. The reason they lost because they wasn't standing together. Tony Stark, Iron Man was on one side and Cap was on another side. That's why they lost. Then they got in their emotions. You got to let emotions go. Let it go. Because this is one of the reasons why every time I went to court, they would just run over me. Because they tried to get the other mother in the courtroom so that way the emotions can get involved. And y'all arguing and fighting. That's what they want, so you can get your mind off of the legal terms. You see what I'm saying? That you need to use to beat them with. Okay? And the facts. That's why they do it. But we can't let none of that emotional stuff get involved. And just by watching a movie, well, we should already know this because, the word of the Lord tells us these things. But when we get in there, we really don't think about it. Okay? But again, my name is King Stevian. My phone number is 850-345-4120. Please text me. Please call me. Say you want to get on board and join this team we're forming. Right now we got 3 people on board. And we're trying to put together an army. An army. Okay? And whatever, like I said, whatever knowledge you have, I'm going to accept it. I'm not going to reject anything you say. Okay? You're truly a brother. Okay? Regardless of what you believe in, there's only one. There's only one true Lord. Creator. The Pope didn't create anything. They just an imitation, or they trying to imitate what the true creator is. And he is Allah. Okay? But then you got, as the Hebrew Israelites say, the Caucasian, the white man, the slave masters. They're the ones who want to create law here on earth and try to be gods. Okay? And they submit to the Pope. But we got to let them know that we have a creator. They did not create the trees, even though they're trying to do it now. What's that, Centos or whatever the company is that's doing all the GMO stuff. They're trying to be God. Well, I don't even say God no more because I found out, no, we are not gods. If y'all really knew what God meant, you would say, okay, no, we're not gods. We are an imitator of our Creator, but we're not God. And I agree with the Moors on this. It means government ordinance department. Okay? And that's one of the things, because they are what? Satan. They are part of the evil one. Okay? The Antichrist. Okay, so then you go over and look up the word in the book of Enoch, and you will see what Satan, the devil, Satan, what his name was. It was Gadriel, or Gadriel. And that's short for what? God. Look it up. Okay? So when we walk around and say we're many gods, we're saying we're many devils, many Satans. We're imitating him. And see how, and we know this to be true, because what does the man do in court? It's a bunch of wordplay. They fool us with the words. And we think those words mean something. It's really, we're saying their words. And we don't even know what we're saying. Even in court, we look at their words and we find out, oh, it means it's just like I found out what affidavit means. We just think it's just something we just putting in. No, it's more than that. It's more power to it. We need to know each word. That's why years ago, the Holy Spirit showed me, he said, you need to know what each word means when you're reading this thing in the Bible. These words in that book they call the Bible. Okay? And if you don't know what each word means, you're going to be lost. And now it's the same thing with their laws. We got to go in and dissect each word. That's why they have the Black's Law Dictionary. Okay? But keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. Don't take nothing for granted. We just reading stuff at face value. Reading the skin of it. Not even the skin, the hair of it. We ain't even going down into the meat. So, again, y'all give me a text message. Hook up. I have nothing against none of you. None against the Hebrew Israelites. None against the Muslims. None against the Moors. Because y'all guys have a lot of knowledge. I have a lot of knowledge. And we need to come together and put that knowledge together. Because we are fighting this fight against one. Instead of us going against one another. Saying, oh, the Hebrew Israelites don't know what they're talking about. Who the Muslims don't know what they're talking about. No. What it is, each one of us has something that is on point. And the other don't. That's what it is. We can't say one person or one religion or one separation or division is right. None of us is right. We got to come together and put it together and fight them. Okay? And when you see, when you saw the Avengers putting their hands together in that circle, a lot of people say it means this, it means that. Yeah, it does. But when you do it for the good, the common good, the common one fight, that means we're coming together as one. And that's what we need to do. So again, the phone number is 850-345-4120. Text me. If you can't get in contact with me there, email me. cityside2006@gmail.com. That's CITYSIDE2006@gmail.com. And I don't know if a lot of you have been going through this. I heard a couple of the Moors go through this, that when they're sending emails out or when they're on Facebook, they're being blocked about a lot of things. Well, I discovered that too. Me and another guy that's, part of the team, then noticed that they're blocking everything that we try to do, sin. So I heard one of the Moors say, oh, we don't talk in codes. No, we need to talk in codes. Because if we're not talking in codes, they're going to rampage our house. They're going to, when we're somewhere, they're going to come and get us because we're speaking out loud. And we're not speaking in codes. They speak in codes. This is why we don't understand what they're saying when we go in the courtroom. Well, we don't need to do that with them. We want them to hear what we're saying. But when we speak to one another, we don't want them to know what we're doing or what we're planning. We need to develop some type of code. Even if you don't want to use the word code, let's find something else. Okay? I would call it an appellation system. Okay? That's what I would call it. Or, wait a minute, since they like the word name, let's use a name system. And the real would be the appellation. Okay? But we need to create something because they're listening. They're listening to this right now. I find it mighty funny. I could put something on YouTube and I only get 5 or 20 views, but I go post it on another site and I get thousands of views. Don't you find that strange? You see what I'm saying? But I know there's thousands of people listening. Okay? You can't discourage me by saying I only got 5 views when I know there's more than 5 people listening to it or watching it. There's other venues that we can use to get thousands of views that I know of, that I didn't use and got millions of views. Okay? My online, I'm not even going to call it a church. My online ecclesia has over 5 million people nationwide. Okay? So let's stand up. Let's stand out in our square. And let's fight this fight. Come on. Just, hey, push everything to the side. We're fighting the same people. We got to fight this fight. We got to win. It's time to stop playing around, stop talking, and start really, really moving and making stuff happen. We need to see action, real action. And all this stuff they're hiding on the television said this happened because of this, and they try to make it seem like it's something else. No, they need to be saying, hey, the Moors and the Hebrew Israelites and the real Christians and the Muslims then attacked this, and they did knock them down. Then expose their law. This is the truth, folks, that they're saying. See? But I'm about to head out. Y'all got any questions? That's the number. That's the email address. And you can even leave a message here on the video or wherever you're hearing this at. And Akeem Stevian of Cityside will reply back to you. Okay? God bless. Excuse me. The Lord bless. The Lord bless. I'm out.
Killer. You better call the troops.